Welcome back to the East Wing Podcast. My name is Kevin Mras.
I'm Alex Walters.
I'm Coleman Ryan.
And I'm Elise.
You shouldn't hit the desk like that. Anyway, so our special guest today is Elise Hoffman.
Hi.
This is my girlfriend.
I'm so sorry.
So why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, what you're doing, where do you go to school, all this shit.
So I am a sophomore at Kennesaw State. I am history education major and
What do you like to do in your free time?
Netflix.
I like getting
mostly.
high. I smoke on the daily.
Oh, yeah.
She gasses up.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. I mean, you mean in between all my classes?
In between all my classes, you know. After I get out of my
Just
philosophy, I just gotta...
behind the humanities building.
Gotta get
Ooh.
enlightened.
That was a UWG meme, dude.
For real, though.
The humanities building is where you go if you want to smoke cigarettes with the teachers.
For real.
Or just anything involving inhaling.
It's like, what was it? It's like, UWG is a non-smoking campus, unless you're behind the humanities. That's the smoking part of it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. There's a fucking teacher that I see all the time
there's multiple
that's with
teachers.
them.
Oh yeah.
There's
One time, okay, so it was a couple of days ago, and it was cold as hell, and they just had a dog tied up to a chair outside, and I was like, "Hey, buddy!" It was Wednesday before band.
I remember seeing like
Aw,
a
poor
dog
puppy.
that was just like on a leash, like without, like he had a leash on, but it was like just free roaming, and he like wasn't running away or anything.
Have you seen the person that has a service dog in the Oaks? Their dog is so adorable.
Oh,
It's super sweet.
that's amazing.
So you really like education.
Yes, I do.
So I've refrained from myself from talking about this in hopes that we would get you on the podcast.
Mhm.
So you like teaching high schoolers.
High schoolers and middle schoolers. Yes.
So you like puberty.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it, hey man.
Oh.
The armpit of the education world,
You just
apparently.
have guys coming up like, hey, how's it going?
Oh, I have a story about that. So we were in middle school. This is 7th grade. I had a science class with my brother, and so the teacher, his thing was to call a roll at the beginning of class. He would go down the list and call everybody's name, and so everything's going perfectly. My brother goes to say here, middle of saying here, just a massive voice crack.
No.
Everybody just
Never had
looked at
that.
him, and of course I start laughing because this is my brother, and so I'm just
Yeah.
like, you are so
Idiot.
dumb.
He pointed when he said that. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Just look back.
Look at that blind. It's a nice blind. Anyway,
I can't
no,
see.
I've never had a crazy voice crack in the middle of a presentation or you know how guys are. I have occasional voice cracks every now and then, but it's never in an important presentation. And you know the other thing that people are guys mainly are afraid of in puberty, having a natural thing happen in the middle of class also never happened to me.
That happened to me frequently.
Well, I mean you're packing a full 6 inches, dude. Soft.
I did have one instance with the voice cracking. I should specify the voice cracking part. But I was the student conductor for my middle school.
They had student conductors in middle school?
Yeah,
That's wild.
because some cunt
Why did you gesture at me when you said that?
I did not point at you. I
It's
said
just like,
wait.
yes,
Anyway, she got drum major because we had a tiny marching band for 8th grade and 7th grade. So she got drum major.
Hold on.
But
Fuck you, asshole.
she got drum major that I was trying for. But then the teacher pulled me aside. She said, "Look, I just didn't want to lose you in the marching band setting.
Whoa.
So I will let you run the entire class when I am out. So I have some experience teaching, quote unquote. But anyway, as I was shouting out, telling them what to do, my voice busted with a crack.
And then you lost the class.
Yeah, and
you
then
can't
They
do
start
anything
laughing.
after
They
that.
start laughing. I'm just like, oh my god.
I remember, what was it?
That's a fourth quarter leg sprain. That's tough.
So it was really great. There was a lot of people who wanted to be music educators as seniors, at my school. And it
I
was
was the only one.
and it was great because we got a whole bunch of advice from teachers. Some of our old teachers wrote us letters and stuff on tips to becoming teachers. It was great and it was so nice. And then at the end of this whole thing, we were presented a panel of teachers, and then they were so do you have any questions for us? And I was like, which grade is the worst to teach? And then everyone's like, oh no, all of them are equally hard. And one person says sophomores because they're freshmen that know more.
But that's the thing with every second year of school. It's like once they get there, they're like, yeah, I've been through a year. I know all of this shit. And you're like, hold on, buddy. You've only been here for a year and a day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, and that's the thing that scares me about being a teacher is that, like, I am rather short. And so all the guys are going to be, like, taller than I am. And I'm just going to be like,
Are you taller than Alyssa or shorter than Alyssa?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Alyssa's 5'3".
Holy fish
I
moly.
think she's 5'2". I don't know. She'd
Something
probably
like
fight me
that.
about that.
I swear Alyssa is shorter than her.
I thought you're taller.
Well, I'm in
exactly.
heels at the moment, so I mean...
That's not a big heel.
Those are not heels. Those are boots.
That's just a
But
shoe with
that's the thing. That I am
That
gonna
is a
literally
tiny
like.
wedge.
I'm gonna be a fair teacher, but I'm gonna also be like the teacher that's like I take no bullshit.
Listen here,
because
shitheads.
I
We're gonna
was
learn
reading-
about Charlemagne.
I was reading an article and it was like, here's the things that teachers say. Please go sit down. You know, we'll discuss this at the end of class. It's like, hey, you fuckhead, sit your ass down.
That's got to be one of the best things about teaching older kids. Is like you can actually curse.
Oh, I had a teacher that goes, hey, all of you assholes, listen the fuck up because I'm
That's
not
literally
repeating this
me
shit
as a
again.
teacher. Listen here, assholes. That's literally me as a
I
teacher.
never really had a teacher that like swore. Like
Yeah, you
unless
do.
I was in college. Well, in college I did.
Oh, okay. I was
Like, I never
College
really had-
teachers are just people, though.
Yeah, like I mean, in high school, I had teachers that like really didn't give a shit about swearing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you're like shit, fuck, and like you know, like
Mother!
and the teacher was like, I hear nothing, and like, but now I have like a teacher that was like
Oh
literally
fuck!
we
I forgot my bag in my car. Give me a couple minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, like we were talking about like thesis statements. It's like if you wrote a thesis statement like that, that's a bitchin' thesis statement. And I was like, okay. And
Or like you'll put something on the board and it's like, I mean, not to offend you, but that's shit.
No, my trumpet director's like that. This past lesson, he was like, yeah, there's this one trumpet player, and he is straight dog shit.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
And he's like, yeah, so whose people you studied under? And he said this guy's name. He goes, oh, we'll set you straight. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, did y'all like ever have like girls in your classes that would try to flirt with your teachers? Like, was that
No.
a thing?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I
Then
had
again,
that.
I was always with like the higher level,
And it
like
was-
AP advanced students. So like, they didn't have to flirt. They just knew their work. Like most of them were smarter than me. So
I had to save my teacher once or twice because these girls would like, you know, the dress code where it's like, oh, if you're wearing like a tank top, you have to wear a jacket over it. I swear it was like not missing a beat. They would come into the class, take their jackets off. Stop! And they would take their jackets off and just like, you know, like hang around his desk, just like, you know, leaning over his desk. And I'm just like,
like
I can't watch this.
Dude, all I imagine when you said leaning over is
just like-
it's just
right, no, that's really what I thought.
Like-
That's literally what I would see.
That's
though.
funny as fuck. And then
Is-
they're like, these people are like 40 something. You're
Jesus.
16.
she's like, does the shoulder do anything for
This
you?
guy is married with a wife and like 2 dogs, and his
Oh,
wife was
that-
pregnant.
That reminds me of
gosh.
a line in the first episode of House of Cards that I just started watching again.
I
So
wanted to watch that.
it's really, I would highly recommend it. I'm not gonna make this episode into a let's talk about film because that happens
We've
a
done
lot.
that a few times.
Please
But
don't.
she doesn't like that I'm interested in
You
film.
haven't
But anyway,
Excuse me, I never said I don't like the
no.
tradition
So
in
the
film.
line, okay. So the line is Kevin Spacey's character is talking about different congressmen that they could try to get as Secretary of State, and his number 2 named a guy, and he was like, too gay, and he was like, he has a wife and kids, and then Kevin Spacey immediately says, now wouldn't they be disappointed? So that just reminded me of what you just said. So on education, I want to know your thoughts on like Common Core. Like, okay, so me personally, I feel like there needs to be a big shift in like reforming education because there's a lot that just geometry, what, algebra, okay, calculus is the only math that I think is very useful in high school.
I think Common Core really, like, I particularly don't like it because I spent part of my fall sophomore year in a classroom and with a 3rd grade teacher, and to watch her stress out about trying to get like these assessments in during the day. Like if they would send an email and say, oh, well, we have an assembly at 12:30, she's like, well, shit, that was when I was going to give my kids this assessment that they need to take so I can get it graded and into the system. And she's like, well, now I have to push this back, but then if I push this back, I'm not going to be able to start my new lesson next week. And so then she's like freaking out, and I just think it doesn't do any good, because like the stuff that they're testing us on really for Common Core never really shows up like later in life. Yeah. It's just because they want to say, oh, look how great my school is, and because I'm bullshitting, like, and I feel like kids especially that have like learning disabilities and stuff, they get like
they get shit on.
They get pushed to the side because they, I can personally account for this, that like with Common Core, it doesn't do me any good because it doesn't show how smart I truly am, because I don't do standardized tests. Well, I could like rat off facts all day and be fine, but when it comes to taking a standardized test, like having to sit there and like time this, I start to stress, and so then my scores go down because my anxiety goes up, because I'm like, okay, I've got 15 minutes left and I still have 10 problems, and I don't know if I'll be able to get all these 10 problems done in the 15 minutes, and it like I start to stress, so then my grades start to go down.
Like both of my parents were high school teachers. They sometimes if they come home drained, they literally compare it to like, I feel like I just took a standardized test, like the SAT, ACT. Those things will kick your ass. Just they put me out of commission for like a day.
Yeah. Well, see, that's where I'm kind of divided, because the SAT, that's decent just because you're using that to get into college. So you want to be able to show like you have this level of mathematics and reading. Yeah. But I think that's its only main use for me.
Absolutely.
And the thing that you brought up, it's like it's trying to make my school look good. It's like that's the government interfering. That's the government interfering. There's my Republican side.
We've heard about schools that have like.
You want to say something? I agree. Alex is just shifting his head from side to side as we're talking.
Like, I agree with what you say. I'm just, that's it. I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, I'm a music education major. I don't see why right now I need to take English classes.
Yeah, like you're having to be,
like,
especially
math or history.
Well,
I am so opposed. I'm so sorry. Continue.
If you're going into any sort of education field, I feel like English does come in handy, because you're probably going to have to be writing letters of recommendation.
Yes, that is true.
Well, then, you're right. Well, if you think about that, using that logic, there's courses at this school, and I know in several other schools that you can take that would be more fitting for that. Because, I mean, self-staging and oral speech, like what I took, it's like actually writing speeches, or, we had a whole thing where we were doing, like, special occasions, like if you have to write a memo or and stuff like that. Like, there are classes that are available that would better prepare you than write fucking 4 research papers in a semester. Literally just turn my brain off and type.
Well, but to defend that, I gotta say, like, they want you to be, like, to at least have, like, basic understandings of, like, grammar and punctuation and how things like that go. So I feel like that's why they make you take those classes, is because it is a remediation course, but it is, like, okay, like, refresher, commas, and how you use punctuation, how you use this kind of stuff. So that's why I do think they make you take it, is just to make sure you have that foundation.
Yeah. And you know this about me. I'm seriously opposed to, like, the first year having to take intro classes. Pretty much wasting, what is it, $16,000?
Something
like
that.
$8,000 a semester for me. Wasting $16,000, and I've taken, well, at the end of this semester, I will have taken 3 classes that will help towards my major. Everything else is just forced. Critical thinking, self-staging, and then so I think that there are flaws, and it can be made better.
Yeah, the thing about music majors, though, we take a lot of classes that actually go with our major.
And see, that's what I praise y'all for that, because especially first semester, you guys were like running like 17 hours.
Yeah, I have 18 credit hours this semester.
I still have 17.
I dropped down to 15 because I withdrew from a class.
18.
Must be nice.
Well, I'm looking out for my semester, or I'm looking out for my GPA this semester. And again, there's a thing, GPA.
Oh, goodness.
So, completely off topic of education, we are recording this before the Super Bowl. Who do you think will win?
Ooh.
And how bad do you think they will win?
So
I fucking hope the Rams win. I'm so tired of the Patriots being in the fucking Super Bowl.
yeah, I was gonna say I really hope the Rams win. My mom is adamant, like, please let the Rams win, just so that, like, for once Tom Brady can get it, like.
Well, he lost last year.
Right
Yeah, Tom Brady got fucked last
At this
year.
point, I don't think that anybody just really knows teams. I think everybody just doesn't want the Patriots to win.
Yeah, no, I'm an SEC person. I don't follow many other
Jersey
conferences.
that I just want a jersey that says Super Bowl like 50 blank, not the Patriots. This is weird. I want to.
Elise held my hand, so they started holding hands. That's adorable.
Yeah, Coleman reached for mine.
Oh my goodness.
Bullshit.
So I realized my struggle coming back home on Sunday, because Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, and I live very close to Atlanta, so I'm going to have to take I-20 going away from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Send help.
Hey, how do you think I feel? I'm
Well, I
coming
mean, if
back Sunday night.
I'm probably going to leave, like, early in the morning
I was
to
gonna
beat
say,
it.
like, leave,
Ooh,
like,
no,
as.
that's gonna be worse.
No, it
Well,
would be
it's-
better.
Really? You think so?
It's gonna be worse because that's when everyone's gonna get in, try to get everything squared away and find
True.
parking.
I'm thinking, like, 2 or maybe 3 hours before the game starts will be, like, a decent time to go. If not, like, early in the
Because the
morning.
game starts at 6:30, so I mean. If
It's 6:30?
Mhm.
Okay.
I am so happy that I don't have to like do it like drive on like Monday, any of the following days after the Super Bowl, because everyone's gonna be flooding out.
Yeah.
You haven't driven in how long?
I've driven like when did I last drive? I drove like last Sunday.
Like 2 here from home.
Yeah, no, I haven't driven this
Exactly.
distance in a while. I'm just saying that like just that whole distance, especially with all the traffic from going to and from Super Bowl.
But the only thing I'm gonna say is you can't really complain about the drive to here because you're only like 40-ish minutes. I'm an hour and 40 minutes having to take 75 to 285 to I-20 and
I
drive.
drive like almost the same route.
Don't talk to Alex. He has like a 3-hour drive.
You're from
Well,
Kennesaw?
Yeah, I'm just saying in comparison to him. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm out by. Do you know Lassiter? You probably wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 75, 285, I-20.
That's about the same thing here.
I do 85, 75, 285, I-20. Help me.
I'm sorry.
I'm really glad to have you on the podcast today, Alex.
Yeah.
It was up until like 15 minutes before we started recording when he was like, "Hey, I'm actually gonna stay so I can record with you."
It's all good though.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just because I was like, I need these concert credits, so I'm gonna stay and go to this concert, and then I'll leave. I mean, I'll get home at like 11 o'clock at night, but hey,
Yeah.
maybe I'll dodge traffic, because last time I left around this time, I had to deal with 4 wrecks.
We
God.
talked about this off of the podcast, right?
Yeah, we have.
Like
Waze-
the guy.
Waze screwed me over the last time I came
No,
here.
this was somebody else. Sorry.
Because
There's a guy on the side of the road, fucking dead because there was a big car crash.
Oh.
Dude was like face
What?
down. I think it was one of my pledge brothers. He was talking about this, and
Good
like
to
he
know.
ran over his
Oh my
shoe,
God.
like not on his body, like his shoe was off of him.
I thought you said that it was a pledge brother.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I just
no,
thought. And I
no.
was like, dude.
All of our jaws were on our laps.
We were just like,
he's dead!
Holy shit, he's dead.
What's his name?
There you go.
Steven?
Keep on kicking that desk. You'll make it.
See?
Kick it?
Okay,
Absolutely.
see, the thing is, I'm just like moving.
Oh my goodness. What if you know that they're kicking the desk that has the laptop?
Yeah.
You said I could kick it.
Well, because he like,
you told me I could.
I'm just trying to like get.
permission.
When I'm in a rolly chair, I never stop moving. So like, this is his fault for putting me in a rolly chair. So.
I don't think they picked that up. It's okay.
These.
I don't even know what they're talking about.
I
You just
don't
want to have a personal conversation here? So how was your day, honey?
Okay.
How's your day, sweetie?
Oh jeez.
Don't touch me.
Listen, I will kiss her right now, and then you guys will have to kiss.
Theater kiss.
Theater kiss me, baby.
You white.
Okay.
You look
Give me
at
with
me
the
when you
give me the good thumb kiss.
Ew.
I had a friend awkwardly. I had a friend awkwardly and randomly do that to me in a parking lot.
Thumb kiss? The thumb kiss is crazy, man.
No, he goes, "This is how you do a theater kiss," and he pulls me and does this. I'm like, "Ugh."
Whoa!
Whoa.
I didn't know what to do, so I just put my hands on his face and slowly pushed him away.
I was like, ah!
That's
I am
a no.
not comfortable.
Okay.
What?
Trying to think.
Trying to think about what?
it's crossed my mind to change my major. Shut up, Fido.
Really?
Just once, very briefly, like music theater.
Just
Musical theater.
change your major for a month.
Yeah.
and then change it back.
Yeah.
You said musical theater. I couldn't see you in a play.
I've
Me
done
neither.
plays before.
I couldn't see it.
You know Pepper
did?
does plays?
Yeah.
You did? Hey, me too.
Hey,
She's
I've
a
done
dancer.
plays too.
Yeah,
I was in the pit, but I did plays.
I play often, like, I've only been in 3 total plays, and then 2 of the plays I played the dad.
That's wild.
Of course.
You know Pepper does plays. Well, he used to do plays in high school. Like, he used to be in
I
theater.
believe that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's very emotive.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
Great.
He's so funny. I miss him.
No.
I haven't seen him much this week
Ever.
since our snow day.
Man, that was a snow.
We
There was so much snow.
completely
We were
missed the mark on that one. I
no,
swear.
dude. Here the snow was 6 feet deep.
It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Like you could see it outside of the second floor windows. It was ridiculous.
We were able to like walk on the bridge, but like
Yeah, our water stopped working.
Our water did stop working
That
for about half the day.
Sucks for y'all.
We did talk about this, but we deleted the episode because. So yesterday we recorded about a 20-minute podcast because I had to get ready for a party.
It's kind of spazzy.
Yeah, it was really bad, and I coughed for like half of it, so
Yeah.
All
we
right.
just kind of got rid of it.
Cut out the silence.
All right.
That is a solid 2 seconds of silence. I
How about
love
that
it.
airplane food?
Airplane food.
Oh,
Getting
jeez.
Delta, every time I go to Panama, they have like these little wrapped sandwiches that are really good.
You mean a burrito?
No, like they're sandwiches, but they're wrapped in like cellophane.
Ooh.
They're all right.
You mean a crunch wrap?
Okay.
AM crunch wrap.
I don't know if y'all have talked about this. Opinion on EC food.
Okay, so EC is the dining. We had a food episode, but I don't think we talked about EC.
Not like.
But no, so EC is the dining hall on the east side of campus, and that's where we stay.
Honestly, could be a lot worse.
Mhm.
Could be a lot better.
In comparison to high school food, I like it better.
Yeah,
It's so much better than high school
It's better
food.
quality.
Look,
you know?
there are some
Especially
days.
quality, but-
So they split it off into different sections. They have like home cooked food. They have the grill. They have a little stir fry. The stir fry is pretty good if the rice is good.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of times when I'll get like undercooked rice and it's
That's
just
like
kind
the
of crunchy.
foundation, man. You can't-
Yeah,
That's
because
gross.
you
That
can't
is
you can't have
gross.
your fried onions and pork and carrots and all that without a good thing of rice.
Mhm.
You know what I do appreciate that they have? They have yum yum sauce. They have yum yum sauce and they
It's not
have.
very good yum yum sauce.
It's decent. It's manageable.
I can't.
I kind of want hibachi now.
See, I love that y'all have like a stir fry like section.
It changes.
KSU
Yeah.
does not have anything remotely close to that.
Oh my goodness,
what
the
I-
stir fry is amazing because they have like some days they'll like mainly they have the stir fry. You get your rice, you get whatever meat. And then some days they do quesadilla and tacos. The
Ooh.
quesadillas are so good.
Yum.
They make the hot sandwiches too.
Oh, the hot
Oh,
sandwiches.
those are
They're
amazing.
greasy. They're amazing. Oh, I just.
See,
My
y'all
hands
are,
are
y'all are now
dirty.
giving me like a list of things that I need to try.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna
when I
end
go
up
to
trying it
EC.
once you
Yeah.
come here. You're gonna learn to like it.
Well,
Well, no, you're staying in Arborview, right?
Yes, I
So
am.
she'll be going to
I'm staying
Z6,
to Arborview too.
I know, me too.
Let me tell you.
and I wasn't invited to live with them.
Look, if we can kick anybody out of our dorm,
Well, I
like you're
mean,
not. I don't think we can do that.
well, how many
really.
people do y'all have? Y'all have 4?
We have 4 people, and the 2 other people.
Definitely kick them out.
We can't.
I
They're just
wish-
2 random people. And we didn't know because we thought, oh, maybe he's already signed up and gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Nope, that's my struggle. I'm trying to find a place to
How
live
about
next
this?
year.
If you're still here by junior year, then we'll all room together.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm gonna be here all 4 years.
Unless
I
one of
mean-
us gets an apartment or something like that.
I mean, shoot, if we get an apartment, we can all split rent.
We could
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Timbercrest.
There y'all go.
Yeah.
Austin, McKay, and Connor are moving into a
Yeah.
3x3. We can get a 3x3. It's about
Something
$450
like that.
each. It's not terrible.
Because I'm.
Yeah.
But I'm broke.
I actually.
Let's look at it.
We'll
Let's
have
look into
jobs.
that another time.
Same.
I say I'm broke, but I just spent $300 on music.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he
No,
got
but-
his refund.
Yeah, my
That's true.
refund hit. I spent half of it on music.
Oh, wow.
That's
No, but I
sad,
actually
like-
went to housing today and I asked them about that. Where I was like, "Do I have to get a meal plan coming in?" And they were like, "No, because you're coming in as a
I would highly
older
recommend.
transfer student." So
I would highly recommend getting a meal plan. One of my friends, he's a commuter. He has it's not as much, but you can only get like the 5 swipe one
Well,
that has like 5 a day,
I am gonna get a meal plan, but not one that's like the
Yeah,
like.
5 a day. That's not bad.
or not
No,
5 a day, 5 a week.
5 a
Did I
week.
say
That's
5 a
why I
day?
got-
You said
Yeah.
5 a day. I was
Shit.
like, that's a
That's
lot.
why I kind of shut up. I'm like, no, there's no 5 a day unless you get the unlimited.
5 a week.
Unlimited
I might
No.
maybe go.
That's great.
I might maybe go 5 a
I
week
recommend.
because I can make dinner and stuff in the dorm.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have you in my dorm a whole heck of a lot.
I'm
like,
definitely gonna be studying.
eating my food because you're like, hey, you're actually making like home cooked good food. Can I please eat something?
On the topic of home cooked food and EC, so between Thanksgiving break and winter break, we had 2 weeks of school. And after coming home from Thanksgiving break, having that week of just eating nice home cooked Thanksgiving meal, he's wholly standing up.
My Apple Watch told me it was time to stand. So
I love that for you.
Wow, you're really taking advice from technology.
I took advice from the watch.
So yeah, no, it's like after that whole week of eating like Thanksgiving food, it's like you come back to EC and it's just. That was probably the 2 weeks that I ate at EC the least. Yeah, it's just
really
not.
I will say the best thing from EC was the one time they did a Thanksgiving Day sort of thing.
Oh,
I didn't go to that.
Oh my god, that was the best.
It was
thing
extremely
I've had at EC.
crowded, but it was
I love their
I
breakfast.
got there right before the breakfast happened.
Yeah.
I'm a big breakfast person.
Okay, now that we're talking about, how's the food at Kennesaw? Is it bad?
It's not bad, but it's just like the only thing that I really like is their fried chicken Thursdays are so good.
We had fried chicken Wednesdays.
At Z6, right?
And it's so good. And their food's pretty good, but it's like they don't change it out like KSU, like you guys do, where like they'll do it on a rotation. Because we have stations where it's like, here at this station you guys can get, burgers and hot dogs and grilled cheese. Here you guys can get pasta and salad. Here you guys can get pizza. But like, it doesn't change out. The only thing that changes out are like the front 2 stations, and it's like it's again on a rotation of like one day you have fried chicken, the next day you have like baked chicken, like so it's like it doesn't really change.
They had this amazing chicken with I love pesto, so it's like a pesto mozzarella sauce. You remember that chicken? I think we ate together that one day. It was one of us. I think we ate together. No, I ate with Drew, mate, that day. No, but that chicken with pesto sauce was amazing. I make a really good chicken pesto covered in panko.
One of my favorite foods is macaroni and cheese with pesto and bacon.
Oh.
Home cooked mac and cheese or Kraft mac and cheese? I hate.
You're talking to the boy that hates our mac and cheese.
Any of y'all ever went to Trader Joe's?
Yes.
No.
Trader Joe's, it's like kind of all a little bit more organic, and I've used that with pesto and bacon, and it's amazing.
Yummy.
Really, pesto and bacon really ups it because it just adds a different level,
They complement each other well.
Yeah, they really do.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the East Wing Food Review
Oh,
podcast.
jeez. All right.
It wasn't episode 2, it was episode 3.
It was episode.
All right. Well, why don't we jump back to, I guess, education, teaching, school?
No.
If y'all are down for that.
What do you want to talk about then?
Huh. All right. Favorite class in high school? All of you.
Band.
Econ Gov.
Took my answer.
You know me, I'm a political person. I like.
Yeah, true.
What was it? I don't know. That's actually
band.
Pretty tough. It was a little bit of a struggle for me. I really enjoyed my AP British Literature class because it was this teacher that like everybody liked. His name was Mr. Harp, and he can fucking shred on the guitar.
That's badass.
It's interesting. Like he's like 5'8". He's pretty big. But he's losing weight. He looks good.
What a man!
Just but
her ideal man.
You look at him.
5'8", losing weight. Perfect.
5'8", losing weight. Yeah, but it was really cool because really he would just read the pages and then we would just sit down and talk about it. And he would make jokes and tell stories, and it was great, really relaxing. But
she doesn't want to.
My close second was band.
I love how it's like AP British Literature, but technically wouldn't that just be AP English?
I actually loved my British Literature class. My teacher was a wholesome bitch, but she had very good intentions, but she was I hate calling women bitches, but she was an actual bitch.
Should we be using her name?
We can censor it in post.
I can censor it. But look, at the end of the year, she sent out an email with a lot of helpful links for writing. So that was she was looking out and she was, how we use Remind 101 and all that shit.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, you guys have my number. If you ever need help in college writing, let me know.
That's awesome.
She's wholesome, but also she just had the worst attitude, and because we had her first in the morning too, so.
Yeah, I feel the same thing about my government class and econ class. It's it wasn't my strongest subject, but I really enjoyed the teacher and how helpful she was at making sure that I succeeded. It was great.
Oh.
I had a teacher from my high school. I never actually had this teacher, thank goodness, but I had her get fired because on her syllabus she has this rule where she's like, if you don't turn in your work on the day it's due, I'm gonna give you a 0. Like,
they can't do that.
God.
They can't do that.
Yes.
They have to give some kind of.
Nope, she could do that, and she's done it for years.
In high school?
Yeah, in high school, and she's done it for years, and no one's complained.
Teachers have too much power sometimes.
I
one
thought
has
like they
complained.
have to give at least some kind of like system for resubmission.
Nope. She was allowed to do this, and she did this for years, and nobody complained. This one year, though, some kid went and bitched to his mom and was like, you know, it was if it was a week late. If it was after a week late.
Okay, so that.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Excuse me, if it was after a week late, then she gave you a 0. This kid was, I think, about 2 weeks late turning in this assignment. He goes to
Well, if you're
bitch to
2
his
weeks
mom
late,
and is like,
then-
she's giving me a 0 for this. You know, I did the work. And so the mom went to my principal, and the principal was like, okay, you need to give him at least 50% credit on this. And she was like, it's on my syllabus that if it's a week or more late, I give you a 0. And she's like, well, either you give her a 50 or I'm going to fire you. And she goes, well, then fire me. And they did.
I respect that she stood.
Middle of the semester, they fired her because she gave him a 0 for
That's strange.
an
I
assignment.
respect that she stood by her principles, though.
Well, and it was
That's
in
respectable.
the syllabus. Like,
Yeah, if it's in the syllabus, then you can't really. You shouldn't be allowed to complain if you miss something that's on the
Yeah,
syllabus.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well,
This
because
is strange.
I mean, then again, I was always a person like I always kept the syllabus in the front of my binder, so I'd always like have.
yeah.
I should do that.
Yeah, you should.
But I
It's
feel
really
like as
useful.
a parent, you should like. I feel like you're raising your kid to like.
If you complain,
kind
you
of-
get what you want.
Yes.
And that's bullshit.
Because I feel like as a parent, you should look at the syllabus and say, well, how late are you? 2 weeks. Well, it says here that if you're a week late, you get a 0.
Also,
I'm
you
sorry, but that's on you now.
Also, you should never be 2 weeks late for an assignment.
I swear.
Anyway, no, so going back to kind of Common Core, so my Econ Gov teacher, he hated Common Core, and so he didn't follow anything. He didn't follow Common Core. He taught the class how he wanted to teach it, and it worked, you know, because we had like intelligent conversations about what we were talking about instead of following a rubric, yada yada yada. Like that's probably why it's my favorite class, because I actually learned a good bit. Like that kind of kicked off me, you know, actually learning about stuff.
Yeah, there was something about the final, like, the semester of econ, that, like, you know that stuff where it's like where they always say, oh, how come they don't teach us how to do taxes or how to budget and stuff?
Oh,
It was literally that semester that I learned all that stuff, and I'm just grateful that I learned all of it.
Yeah, it was always like the last unit, like they teach you how to file your taxes, how to like balance a checkbook. That was my last unit. Personal finances.
We weren't required to do that. Like, they didn't have to teach us that, but I had a math teacher that was like, okay, you need to learn how to do this because this math may not ever apply to you in your life. But learning to cook, learning to sew on a button, like this stuff will apply. So
My mom taught me how to sew on a button.
every Friday she would have us do some like home ec type thing.
Yeah.
She taught us how to make like eggs in a microwave. She's like, look, if you're in a dorm room, here's how you make like scrambled
Badass.
eggs in a mug so that you can at least eat breakfast before you go to class. Here's how you sew a button. Here's how you like iron a shirt, like this kind of stuff.
So
And
you
it
basically
actually-
had a one meeting a week at home ec class.
Yes, and it was
That's
actually
cool.
really helpful though because she's also like, well, if you're stressed out about finals or something, here's how you make a cake in a microwave in a mug, which was really good. Actually, it's really
Use
good.
Pinterest for that, dude.
Yes, please. So it's funny, like when you guys talk about the Common Core, I was looking through my Pinterest and I had actually saved something where it's like asking a teacher to follow a scripted curriculum is like asking artists to paint by number. It's like you tell teachers, oh, be creative, like, come up with fun lesson plans for your kids, but yet you're like, well, they need to have this like material covered by this date, and you only can go to this, for history, like for example, you can only go to this year, you can't go past that. So it kind of limits the teacher in their creative abilities because you want them to be creative and fun, but yet they can't
Yeah.
do
absolutely.
so much.
Alex, do you have anything to add?
No, not really.
I just messaged Alex on our group chat saying, say something, Alex, with the crying emoji, and he was like, I can't, y'all just keep talking back and forth.
Sorry.
So it was. I was like, I'm gonna say something here. And Kevin's for saying, okay, I'll wait till he's done. And then
Yeah.
Coleman jumps in. I'm like, okay, I'll just
All
say-
right.
Coleman's just good at jumping in, man.
What's your... Alright. You got
What's my what?
Got an opinion?
Well, his favorite high school class was
What?
band.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we want to transition into talking about band,
Oh,
God.
God.
hit me another 40 minutes
Favorite
on this
year?
podcast.
All of you, favorite year of school?
Junior.
I guess senior.
My sophomore year was my favorite band-wise because our marching band was amazing that year.
I really like senior year. Yeah, just kind of. I wish you know how like you have.
I
do you guys
slept
have
through my senior
field
year,
day?
man. No.
Do you have senior field day?
Well, we kind of did. I didn't go to it because I hated everyone in my class, so instead I went up to South Carolina and tried out trumpets.
Good for you.
That's
That
awesome.
is awesome.
We had a senior picnic, and
That's what it was.
and I was like,
So it's lame.
it was required for us to go, but I was like, I would rather be sitting my ass at home, like I don't know, watching a movie or something. But they
Senior
were like,
skip day was fun.
oh well, we couldn't do that because they were like, if you do senior skip day, we will give you a week of in-school suspension.
Well, seeing as we had a 200 plus senior class, so
Okay. All right.
big school.
I had like
Big old school.
something. 3:30.
Fucking seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't think your high school was that big.
I didn't think it was either.
Mine was that big too. Walton.
We all like mine was that big too. And we were like,
R/ whoosh over her head.
Oh,
Homie played the saxophone in high school. That's wild. There's a badass picture of Coleman.
hey.
Put the picture up.
Oh no, that's gonna for this episode. It's
that's
gonna be
gonna
his
be my
little.
picture,
It's gonna be his
isn't it?
picture on the thumbnail.
See, I'm the only one here who wasn't like in band.
Well, you did color guard.
I did
in
color
marching
guard, but I never
that's
played
something.
an instrument or anything.
not 100% excluded.
Well, I don't count Coleman as a saxophone player.
Well, not anymore.
Also, I don't respect you as a musician.
Shit.
Look, let's think about it
shots
though.
fired.
Reading vocal music, you can't argue that reading vocal music is a lot easier than reading.
Oh, why did you just kiss me?
You're gayer than me.
Full disclosure. Full disclosure. That was Elise kissing Kevin on the cheek.
But no, like you can't really argue that.
No, absolutely. There's just so much like I have no doubt that there's like with certain what was it? Just like there's so much more that it's just two different sides of a coin. You know?
It is two different sides of the coin.
You
Like
know, because like I mean, I have no doubt that like
you sing soprano, right?
Hey.
no, I say
Tenor?
Oh man.
Tenor?
Soprano
close.
is the highest.
Not even.
Soprano is the highest lady part. Alto is.
Sexist.
I'm sorry. Could you speak higher? That's
Don't.
an inside joke.
If I were to sing, I'd be a tenor.
Yeah, like.
I'm more of a bass.
Yeah, and
Hit
like.
me with some nice bass voices. Real
I guess
quick.
ultimately I could be a baritone, but like in
Ooh. Saucy.
you know what was it in high school there's a lot of tenor stuff. I think that one of the main differences that separates like instrumental music versus vocal music is that with vocal music there is so much technique, and I'm not saying that there isn't any technique. I'm not. Hey,
Let me
hey,
pull up
I'm
the
not-
dancer
Okay,
rag.
I know this.
Every
I'm not
note
saying-
has a different articulation.
I'm just saying that like there's while you know there's a lot of technique with every instrument even. There's so much. I believe you.
Alex is pulling out a warm-up book.
I'm just saying that there's a shit ton of technique, you know, that comes into taking care of, you know, your voice, into, you know, just wise of sustaining your breath. Even like your body posture has a huge effect. You know, that's kind of just a huge part of it.
See, I relate to him because I was in chorus too, so I know what he's.
It's yeah, like especially there's just like a new level, you know, especially like whenever you're a senior.
It's a whole different
Yeah.
whale.
Like, when you're a senior in high school, you're thinking like, well, this is the top, you know? Like I bet that even you guys felt that at one point.
We definitely talked about this in I think the last podcast about hitting walls.
Yeah,
Related
absolutely.
to that. Where like you think you're at the top, but then you start listening to other stuff and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I took that in a different meaning. I thought.
Actually just hitting a wall.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
So just pull a McKay and punch ice one
Yeah.
time.
But when I don't know what I was trying to say. Okay, I got it. My senior year, I was actually a 3. Like I had 3 instruments to play,
Mm-hmm.
like trumpet, flugelhorn.
Damn.
Flugelhorn was on the side. That was a fun one. I did that for a few gigs, and then I had French horn to deal with, which last time I played French horn before my senior year was 7th grade.
Oh.
And I had a huge break of not playing it. So we had peer placement come up, and some chick who's been playing, a couple of years now, she's like, either way, I'm going to get this because, you're just starting back on. I was like,
Challenge accepted.
Okay, I'm the top trumpet player at this school and most likely this county right now. So we'll see what happens. And I'm just blowing her up to get first chair. And she looks over, she's like,
You actually killed her.
Yeah, she's like, I don't see how you got it. I was like, I'm
just
good.
skillful.
I just got skill.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I was going to say something.
No, I was gonna go off topic when you said
Sure.
hitting a wall. I thought of a story.
All right.
My cousin was at summer camp, and some girls decided that it'd be a good idea to roll down a grass hill. But the thing was, when you got about almost to the bottom, you had to stop or something and get up and run through a door. The thing is, my cousin missed the door, and she ran face first into a brick wall.
Just think of the noise of rolling.
Yeah. Face first.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
There's one time, so back at the house I originally lived at, I've moved 3 times, but the first house I lived in, the way it was set up was good?
This will be my next topic to talk about.
The way it was set up was living room, the foyer, where you come in from the front door, then dining room and kitchen, and you could just go in a whole oval. So I was just running around that one day. I looked behind me, turned back around. I didn't make the whole corner, and basically went like this.
Oh my goodness.
And I was on the floor.
Fuck you, asshole. He was still going. He's got a small dick.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. No. So, what I was gonna say is I've been stretching out because I'm in pain because Coleman and I went to the gym yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, that was an experience. We haven't talked. It feels like 2 years ago.
Are you messing with your?
We haven't talked about gym or anything since the first episode, I think.
Ooh.
But yeah, Coleman and I saw you dying on the elliptical.
Yeah, no, I do not.
No, I'm not even digging. I'm just saying.
No, absolutely, I do not work out at all.
How do you feel about that interval training that I put you on?
It's actually really great.
Yeah.
I could tell that it was working. It was the beginner one. I put
you middle of the beginner.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not gonna deny that I was out of shape. Was I struggling? Abso-fucking-lutely.
I just want to point out that I'm not gonna lie that I was out of shape.
Oh yeah, no, I still am.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, I've actually just started going.
That's great. Yeah, no, you've been going to the gym for the past 2 weeks?
2 weeks, every day except for Fridays.
That's
I go.
badass. Look at those gains. She's got muscles.
I haven't started going to the gym yet, but
well, that's because your knee's so fucked up.
Yeah,
right
my
now.
knee is screwed up, but I have been doing a diet plan-ish thing. Basically,
cut a little carbs out,
Well, it's not even that. It's this whole I don't eat 3 meals a day. I basically
either.
I basically eat when I'm hungry, and that's how people used to live, way back then, Nordic times and stuff.
So you want to be a Viking? You want to be built like a goddamn Viking?
I mean, I got it from a UFC fighter, so I would say his name, but y'all probably have.
Well, see, I'm big on that. I eat only when I'm hungry, unless I know that I have a long class and I'm I need to eat before this class.
Yeah, no.
Well, because for me, and you know this, I have issues with
she has
my blood sugar,
issues,
so
yeah.
it's there's times where I'll do homework and I'll be so invested in my homework that I completely forget to eat.
It was finals week and I was messaging her. We were both I was in our library, she was in hers. She's I haven't eaten in 5 hours and I'm starting to feel tired. I have to finish this though. And I'm honey, go get some food. She's no, I can finish this essay. I'm get some food. And guess what happened? Yeah. You went to get some food and you were thanks.
Because I was okay, if I waited another 30
you probably
minutes,
would have died.
I would have passed out. Because that's just what happens, and it's...
My body has been totally attuned to eating 2 meals a day. Yeah. Just because that, with my meal plan, that's all I can do if I stay a week.
No,
a full week.
What's weird is I have 10 meals left, and it's Friday.
Yeah, I have 7.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, One time, I literally all I ate was just a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and that got me through the entire day.
There's no fucking way.
That was weird for me.
See, that's the thing about
I want Chick-fil-A,
with West,
man.
like
I love their.
y'all do the guest the guest swipes, right?
Yeah.
See, with KSU,
some programs or some of the plans have guest swipes.
I was gonna say,
you can also pay.
Two.
Yeah, you can pay.
Oh, you can pay. Okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because with KSU, like you don't have to do like a separate like guest swipe. If you have extra swipes to use, you could literally swipe in.
I'd use that.
Anybody.
So much.
Yeah.
Because like, or if your friend doesn't
Randy.
have a meal plan, like, but they're going to the Commons with you, literally you can just swipe them in on your card, and it's not a problem.
Do you have like an unlimited access thing?
It depends on the plan you buy.
Okay.
Because but it applies to anybody. Like, you could say you were going home for the weekend and you just had swipes to waste. Literally, it's just like, I can swipe you in, and I'll just swipe you in.
That sounds great, actually. I wish that we had something like that.
You know, it's the weirdest amount of money to pay to get into EC. It's $8.06.
Gee, why so specific?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why, but we did the math, and for the 14 meal a week for the price, it averages to about $8 a meal. So pretty much, if you want to get your money's worth, get $8 of food every time you go to EC.
Yeah,
which is really easy.
Okay, you say it's easy. For me, I think it's shitty because I don't eat a lot. There are times that I've gone to EC, literally gotten a drink and the plate of fries and then left.
Oh, jeez.
I normally go to like the home cooked meal. I get a plate, a salad, and a drink, and then when I leave, I take I take like 2 cookies with me and I steal them.
What time
I'm
is
just
your
like
thing?
7:30.
7. Is it
30.
7 or 7?
Yeah.
7:30.
We are actually hitting about 46 minutes. So do we want to go ahead and end off this podcast?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right. You have any final remarks, special guest?
I mean, it's been fun being on, talking to all of y'all.
Right. Hope to get you on another time. Hit us up,
Absolutely.
East Wings Podcast Season 2. Anyway, no.
What if we have a Twitter?
Should I have a Twitter?
There you
I'm
go.
going to make a Twitter
You know
tonight.
what? We should get your girlfriend and I all of us together.
That would be fun. Like,
Have a mess.
oh, Alex.
Alex. Poor guy.
3 hours away. I'm coming for you, baby.
Aww.
We'll bring her out here, dude. We'll get her some lunch, get her some dinner, you know?
Yeah.
We'll ship her out, dude.
I mean, she's small enough.
Oof.
Ooh.
No, she's like
FedEx me bad.
She's like 5 foot.
Even?
Yes.
That's wild.
She's 5 foot and I'm 6'2". It is
Oh.
a very big height difference.
That's a fun. You can't tell that from the pictures that you have on your desk.
Oh, you want to actually hold up?
Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and end this podcast off. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked what you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe. My name has been Kevin Mras.
I'm Alex Walters.
And I am Coleman Ryan.
I'm Elise.
I shouldn't have said him.
Yeah, Ryan.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next week.